Thank you. Thank you. I can't believe it's been a year since we last gathered here and talked about the things that were facing us. As I recall, we last gathered here about a year ago, right after an election that I quit worrying about after the day was over. And we have made significant progress even in that last year. But I just have a couple things I want to say. We've got a great keynote speaker, and you all know what's been going on. I just think we need to highlight just a couple of areas so that we don't lose track or focus of what got us to where we are and what needs to get us to where we need to go. We have, it seems to me, positioned Arkansas in a place that is ripe right now for a massive influx of opportunity for our people as we come out of a recession. Now, there's some question as to are we going to come out of it, or when are we going to come out of it? What's going on across the globe, certainly what's going on in Europe, and what's going on in the Congress suggests that more and more people believe that if there's going to be a recovery, it's going to be so slow and the glide slope's going to be so shallow that you may not even realize or recognize that you're coming out of the recession. But whatever the case may be, we can't wait on the national government, the global economy. We're all going to be subject to it, but we can't wait on it. We have to chart our own course. We have been able, over the course of the last several years, to withstand what we've withstood because we didn't sit back and wait on everybody else. And, you know, sometimes, I told a group this morning, sometimes it's our own people who don't fully appreciate what we've done and what we have. Sometimes it's your own people in your own backyard that don't realize the change that has occurred. I can assure you that the image of Arkansas, which historically has been near the bottom, has changed outside our borders and with our sister states, as well as across the waters with countries and individuals around the world. Our image has changed for the better in the last several years, more than we ever could have thought it would have changed, and we need to recognize that, but we don't need to slow down. I tell somebody, inevitably a local audience, that we are now ranked 6th in America in public education, and they don't believe it. They seem incredulous that Arkansas would be 6th out of the 50 states plus the District of Columbia in the overall K-12 education rankings. And yet, the people outside Arkansas get that message loud and clear, know more and more about it every day, and consequently they're looking at you, and they're looking at us with a different eye than they've ever looked at us with before. Part of the reason for that is stability and confidence. If I've heard it once, I've heard it several times, that people who make decisions about whether to invest, people who make decisions about whether or not to create companies, to expand companies, to relocate companies, to actually spend the money that's sitting on that sideline, are reluctant to do so in an environment where there is no stability, where there is no foreseeability, where they don't know from one year to the next what tax policy is going to be, what economic policy is going to be, what trade policy is going to be. They decry that uncertainty. Now, I can't solve problems in Washington, D.C., and have no desire to go up there to try. So I can't control what goes on up there. And while we all are subject to and worry about our sister states, because what's good for them invariably will bleed over and be good for us, and when they suffer, to some extent we suffer as well, I can't control them either. What I can try to do is provide some leadership, and with the cooperation of the people in this room and hundreds and thousands of others in like positions across our state, put Arkansas in the best possible light, in the best possible posture, to provide that stable, confident place to work, to live, to raise a family, and it encompasses everything. You all know that education, economic development, I've been preaching it for so long, you all get tired of hearing it. are the cornerstones of what I think it takes to build the quality of life and what I think it takes for public policy to solve the problems in our state. And while there are other problems, those other problems are more easily reconciled if we get those cornerstones right, if we get education and economic development right. Because once you do that, it's easier to solve criminal justice or social justice or health or any other issues that face us as a people if folks have got a good economic opportunity, a good job, and they get the good job if we have the kind of education and the educational opportunities that provide the quality workforce. I'm not just talking about manufacturing. I'm talking about manufacturing. I'm talking about agriculture. I'm talking about tourism. But I'm talking about cutting-edge research. I'm talking about technology of tomorrow. I'm talking about the nano stuff that's going on right here that trumps just about everything else in the world. I'm talking about tomorrow's jobs. I'm talking about STEM education. All of it factors in together. But the cornerstone wrapping around all of it is that we have a stability and a predictability and a confidence level that causes people to say, I'm not going to risk this in California or New York or Florida or North Carolina. I'm going to risk this in Arkansas because I can predict the likelihood of my success there. We don't realize how important that is to other people that are looking at us now. And we've got to make sure that going forward, that all of our people working together, the General Assembly, our local, county, and city governments, our business community and leadership, our educational institutions, all get on the same page to recognize and to realize an enormous opportunity for us in this place and in this time. To paraphrase Kennedy, this torch has been given to us at a certain place and in a certain time, and if we don't step up to the opportunity, if we don't take advantage of where we are right now, where Arkansas is positioned, shame on us for generations to come. I would argue that no generation has been given the opportunity that this generation has been given in this state right now for a future to change the way this state has always been, for the better. It is right there for our grasp. Yeah, we've made a lot of progress. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to brag about. You heard some of it in the introduction. So what? What are we going to do tomorrow? How tomorrow are we going to enhance this opportunity that we've been given? We do that with cooperation and collaboration and working together and keeping our eye on the ball and understanding that the cornerstones of economic development and education created this opportunity. We have to never be satisfied with where we are. I don't want to be sixth anymore in public education. I told Martin O'Malley in Maryland that I'm tired of him being first. And that ought to be your attitude as well. Together we can do this. Together we can write a history for our people and leave a legacy for them that they will look back on this time period and this time frame and say, whatever they were doing there, thank God, because look what it got us now. No one person does this. No one group does this. No one political party does this. We do this together or we don't do it at all. I'm confident in the months and in the years to come that we will rise to the occasion and we will leave the legacy that all of us want left for our children and our grandchildren and posterity in general. I need your help. You need each other's help. The operative word here is we. Let's continue the progress.